Trump's psychopathic behavior is getting worse as he loses more cases in courts, as his authoritarian designs are being resisted by Europe, by Canada, by Mexico, and elsewhere. He is getting more unstable. Let me show you what he posted this morning. He went on a complete tantrum. He posted the following: "He who saves his country does not violate any law," says every dictator, I think, ever. That's what he's posting this morning, essentially saying that he will not follow laws and that he will rule as a dictator. I think he realizes how utterly pathetic and weak he has been looking, as the world has been both horrified, mortified, and just vicariously humiliated by his behavior. Then he posts the following this morning at 10 a.m. "Should I audit the IRS into oblivion?" Pause there. I'm going to show you what he wrote, but let me tell you what I think you should do. You should have no tax on tips. You should have no tax on Social Security. You should have no tax on overtime. You should lower the prices of groceries. You should lower the prices of eggs. You should make housing more affordable. Those were the things that you promised. Notably absent from your budget and the Republicans' proposed budget was anything about tax on tips. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. But there was an $880 billion cut to Medicaid, a $350 billion cut to the Department of Education, about a $300 billion cut to farmers and agriculture, and a $4.5 trillion cash giveaway to the oligarchs and to the billionaires. I ask any of you, go read what the budget says. Doesn't have any of the no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. It's all a bunch of BS. But here he says, should I audit the IRS into oblivion? I don't know. I mean, the fact that they've audited you before because you don't pay your taxes. And it turned out that when people looked at your tax returns and they finally got 4 or 5 years, you basically paid like nothing. There were some years where you paid the equivalent of like a $750 filing fee. But this is how he riles up his base, who I doubt have been audited the way Trump has been audited. Here's his post announcing the first ever presidential poll from Donald Trump. But it's not really a poll. When you click through, it says, give him money so he can grift off his supporters. It says, Ben, are you sick of being targeted and harassed by the IRS? Well, maybe it's time that somebody audit them for a change. I hear that they'd fail worse than crooked Joe Biden on the debate stage. It would be that bad. Ben, are you sick of them? Before I make any final decisions, I need to hear directly from you. Should I authorize Elon Musk and Doge to audit the IRS? Yes or no? Yes, make America efficient again. Then you click it and it says basically give him money. It's not really a poll. You then have this post by him as well. Trump moving towards peace in Ukraine is the most statesman-like president in history. And then this is some right-wing crazy article. And then it has him. And again, he desperately wants to have his face on Mount Rushmore. And this is what the MAGA Republicans are talking about. It says, it calls to mind the American and world leaders who defended freedom during World War II. You serious? You think that? It's probably the opposite. You see, Americans during World War II stood up to the Nazis, stood up to fascism. You know, the names that go back in history as being weak in World War II and appeasement are names like Neville Chamberlain. But what J.D. Vance did was worse than what Neville Chamberlain did by far. What J.D. Vance did was outright capitulation. What you did was outright capitulation to Putin. You said that Ukraine should not be entitled to its own land pre-2014 borders. You also said that Ukraine should not be a member of the of NATO. So you removed all of the negotiating chips. Then you had your delegation try to get Zelenskyy to sign a piece of paper turning over all of their rare earth materials to the United States. And you had your people demand he sign it right there, which he did not do. Zelenskyy said, Trump has no plan. By the way, Trump, you told Americans as well that Russia was going to be sending a delegation to Munich where all the sides were going to talk. Guess what? Russia did not send a delegation to Munich. And all I hear you do is talking about annexing Canada, taking over Panama, annexing Greenland, threatening your allies. What J.D. Vance did was attack and threaten European democracies and democracies abroad. And J.D. Vance in Munich promoted Russia interfering with elections. I think J.D. Vance got like 3 people to applaud for him. It was absolutely pathetic. Donald Trump continues to post this. This is from Miranda Devine. This is like the New York Post propaganda is just next level. Trump administration is showing itself as a child-friendly administration because Elon Musk brought his kid into the Oval Office, who was basically like yelling at Donald Trump in the Oval Office because Elon Musk wears his kid as a prop as they go through all of our files, as they go through our tax records, our social security information, our medical files. By the way, Trump fired allegedly accidentally the workers who oversee our nuclear arsenal and then scrambled to try to hire them back when he goes, oh, wait a minute, we fired all the people who oversee our nukes. The level of incompetence is matched by the corruption here.
You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Prize Picks puts their members first, so withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this basketball season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. This week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the basketball board and selecting Jason Tatum for more than 29 points and Anthony Edwards for more than 25 points. Download the app today and use code Meidas to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code Meidas to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
But Donald Trump then goes on to say, he posts this article from Breitbart. I mean, these articles would make North Korean propaganda blush. Banks, Trump brought back manufacturing, saved America. Trump brought back manufacturing? What the hell are you talking about? Donald Trump's tariffs are about to lead to a manufacturing depression after former President Biden created a manufacturing boom. Under President Biden, with his Infrastructure Act, there had been more manufacturing projects going up across the country than ever. Donald Trump right now is killing manufacturing. Donald Trump's steel and aluminum tariff is going to cause grievous harm. Retaliation is already being started across the world in response to America's actions. And this is Donald Trump also says that he's going to basically tariff any nation in the world. He reposted this again that has a VAT tax, which is trade neutral, by the way, and is not a tariff. He goes, we're going to tariff all of you. Oh, remember, didn't Donald Trump say, what was it, 3 or 4 days ago, that if Hamas didn't return all of the hostages to Israel, that Trump, he said that we will unleash hell hell will be unleashed. And Trump gave a noon deadline today, East Coast time on Saturday, which is a holy day, by the way, in that region. But that's what Donald Trump said at noon Eastern time. Well, what happened? Hamas returned the 3 hostages who they were already going to return. Not all of the hostages. Israel returned the 200 or 350, whatever the number was, hostages back 300. I think it was 300 hostages back to Hamas in Gaza. And it was just what the deal previously was that former President Biden made. Hell didn't break loose. Hamas didn't return all of the hostages. And then Donald Trump pivoted and changed it where he was like, well, this is what Trump goes. Hamas has just released 3 hostages from Gaza, including an American citizen. They seem to be in good shape. This differs from their statement last week that they would not release any hostages. Israel will now have to decide what they will do about the 12 o'clock today deadline. He puts that in caps, imposed on the release of all hostages. The United States will back the decision they make. You said that you were going to do something. So now you're saying it was Israel's decision. You will back that decision. Again, Trump makes fake deals. Okay. Canada, we need you to have a fentanyl czar. Mexico, we need you to have 10,000 troops at the border. There was already 15,000 Mexico troops at the border. But as I said, think about this. Let me repeat this, folks. The Trump and GOP budget had nothing about no tax on tips, nothing about no tax on overtime, nothing on no tax on Social Security. It does have a $4.5 trillion tax cut for the billionaires, however. I'm going to leave you with this because Trump has just done pissed off all of Canada. This was at the 4-nation games in Canada. I just want you to see how amped the Canadian patriotism is right now. Here, play this clip. Here's what Zelenskyy said yesterday.
I think, Tuama, that he's preparing the war against NATO countries next year. And I think so. But I don't know, I don't have 100. God bless. We will stop this crazy guy. And we will not have any war in the world in Europe, but you will not stop him just to say, yes, he said that we will stop. It's not enough. And that's why how to stop it, security guarantees for us.
And by the way, here was Zelenskyy staring down J.D. Vance at yesterday's hearing and didn't sign anything giving up their rare earth metals. Zelenskyy stood firm, stood his ground. And when J.D. Vance had to sit across from Zelenskyy, it was a very different tone than when J.D. Vance was attacking Europe. Play this clip.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're, of course, happy to welcome the Ukrainian delegation led by President Zelenskyy. We had a number of fruitful conversations, a number of things for us to follow up and work on. And fundamentally, the goal is, as President Trump outlined it, we want the war to come to a close. We want the killing to stop, but we want to achieve a durable, lasting peace, not the kind of peace that's going to have Eastern Europe in conflict just a couple years down the road. So we had a number of good conversations about how we might accomplish that together, and certainly we'll have many more in the days, weeks, and months to come. President Zelenskyy.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Very briefly, I think Vice President said everything absolutely correct. We are very thankful for American support. President Trump, we have good conversation today. Our first meeting, not last, I'm sure, and really what we need to speak more, to work more, and to prepare the plan how to stop Putin and finish the war. We want peace very much, but we need real security guarantees, and we will continue our meetings and our work, and we will be very happy to see General Kalak also in Ukraine and this closest time. Thank you, Vice President, for meeting. Thank you, colleagues. Thanks so much.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thank you for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.